Welcome to the 611 Films YouTube channel. I'm your host, David Groves, my co-host, as always.
I don't want your life.
But I don't want your life.
I knew that would come up.
You can't do this movie without that line, of course.
We're doing Back in 99. We're doing Varsity Blues.
Obviously. So we were talking about the Kiss Me with the She's All That. And I feel like that line, I don't want your life, is like the thing that that's like the iconic thing like that everyone thinks of.
But I don't want your life.
And this was another one that was in the whole Not Another Teen movie. I mean, they even had the same guy, Ron Lester, reprise kind of the same role in Not Another Teen movie.
Yeah, which tragically, looking up stuff about the movie, passed away in 2015.
Yeah.
If you go back and look, he'd done a gastric bypass surgery and then did a ton of other surgeries to get rid of kind of like the loose skin,
the residual,
and then had some liver and kidney issues and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it was funny too. I mean, not that that's funny, but I'm saying him doing the character of, Billy Bob and then going to do pretty much the character of Billy Bob again.
He just did the same thing. And there was did you see pictures of him after he had the surgery? Like, I mean, he's like unrecognizable, great. Like totally different.
Oh yeah,
like person as like
totally different,
slender guy.
Right,
that's wild. But yeah, this was you see this movie and you're like, oh yeah, this is like this like like 90s movie, and you're just like, that's where they got. I mean, I don't know if it started with that, but it just had that feel like this is the football team and this and that,
right,
and the coach and it was like, yeah, like it just was so 90s. I
don't know. This might have felt like one of those movies where teenagers and they're using Texas and football. Obviously, Friday Night Lights is 5-6 years away from this whole thing, which might have been a better film. This felt more Hollywoodized and whatever, but it really kind of started. I don't know if it started a trend for that, but it was kind of
I would say no on that, because Friday Night Lights kind of drove me nuts, because it was just like, okay, we get it. Like, football's important to this, like, Texas town. True. I don't know. Like, I to me, I just felt like Varsity Blues was the better, like, this is, like, if I was going to recommend, like, a kind of teen sports, this kind of genre, right. I would go to this, like, to me, so... over Friday Night Lights or anything like in that ilk. So
I said this in Any Given Sunday. I don't really care for football at all. I love sports movies though, and I love Friday Night Lights. I like Varsity Blues a lot. But again, I think the characters elevated, and it's so funny because so many different actors were in 2 or 3 of the movies of 99. Like we had Paul Walker and She's All That, and then again here, James Vanderbeek, wild, weird choice from Dawson's Creek, the nerdy film guy, to play.
I can see that though. He wants to, explore, and he was like, this was like his heyday. Like he was like the teen heartthrob, back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dawson's Creek, this movie, and it was like, this movie has a kind of a special place in my heart, because I worked at a movie theater, and this has nothing to do with that. But there was my roommates were one of them worked at a movie theater. Like, you remember the dollar theaters where they'd have like. So
sure, absolutely.
So he threw like a party where they brought in a keg, and then they like spiked the slushy machine with vodka. So you're getting all boozed up on these slushies, and they were playing these movies. So you would hang out in the lobby, but like if you wanted to, you could just go in and like kind of heckle the movie. Like you could just be drinking, and then you go in and you're watching. They had Varsity Blues, so it was kind of like. Because I had already seen it, and then I went into it, and I was like, like having a few drinks, and you're like, I remember this part, and then, I don't know. I always think of like that party, like with, when I think of this movie, because that happened to be the movie that was in the dollar theaters. Because I don't know when this movie came out, but, for all I know, this could have been early 2000. Like, I mean, this was because it had been out in the theaters for a while, and then this was kind of like the end of its run before it went to like DVD or VHS or whatever it was.
It ends with obviously the big football game, the big thing, as opposed to the prom and a bet about who could get popular. But it did have that tropes, cliches, whatever you would want to call them, of guy gets hurt and then another guy has to come in and becomes more popular, and about the characters and all that stuff. I think, and John Voight too, as the coach, aging coach was great.
He's like, it's just funny because have you ever seen Midnight Cowboy?
I'm walking here.
Right.
It's a great movie, but it's like so like that's kind of his start, and then he just plays this dick, and he's like later roles. And it's just so funny to see how because he's so not that in Midnight Cowboy, which is kind of I think that was his first movie. But like you have these movies like Anaconda, like Varsity Blues, and he just plays his like you like love to hate this guy.
I think and it's because of the idea again with the Texas football. And weirdly enough, too, it's like it's not college, it's high school. It's like where you live. It's so ingrained in people that's what you do, from maybe late August into January or something with that season. But it's like you kind of realize, like, yeah, he's a dick and he's doing whatever he can to win, but he has to, and that's all he knows.
Right? Yeah, it's kind of, and they did some stuff with that, and especially like the injuries and concussions and things. I mean, it was like this was stuff that is commonplace now. Everybody, the NFL is like very but like at that time, people were still. I mean, in a pro level, they were like, you play hurt. Shake it off. Yeah, rub some dirt on it. And this. Yeah,
here's a cortisone shot, or here's maybe even harsher drug to it, and keep going.
Right. And it was like because that was how serious it was. I mean, even like the Ali Larder character, like that's her identity. It was like I date the quarterback, so I'm gonna like see if he's hurt. Yeah, I'm gonna go after the Mox. James Vanderbeeks. And it was just like, that was like how crazy they were about football. It was like, this is what I do. This is my role. This is my place in life. And it was just like, damn.
Interesting tidbit on that. It wasn't actually whipped cream. It was shaving cream she was wearing in that scene.
Oh, did I? Yeah. Oh, well, no, that makes sense. Yeah. But was he supposed to lick it off or something?
I don't know about that one. I just remember I just looked up some fun facts about the thing. I was like, because whipped cream dissolve it, like it'll start falling away very quickly.
It's like it's like those like cereal commercials. Like it's not really cereal and milk. They're using like I don't know, like styrofoam, and they're using
byproducts,
not milk, and they, like just to make it look good on camera. And I was like,
we've been talking about a little bit of the music with all these movies. There Goes My Hero, Foo Fighters. I had that on repeat on a CD player every time I went, because I played tennis in high school, and when it came out too, it was like, I think it did come out prior to like my high school career ending to before college, because I had it on repeat for the last few games I was playing. So it was kind of fun.
I almost totally forgot about that, but yeah, that song was so iconic with that movie. I think it was like a big enough song that you could hear it and not necessarily think of Varsity Blues, but yeah, I mean, it was such a big part of that movie was that song, and they were playing it like all the time in the music video and everything. So you had that kind of like Kiss Me, Sixpence None the Richer with She's All That, and then this was like There Goes My Hero, and it's like, oh yeah.
I personally, I can't, driving a car, listening to the radio. Whenever I do that, it's if it comes on, I can't not think of Varsity Blues. It's definitely ingrained in me, like that one. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this back in '99. If you like it, love it, whatever, like, subscribe, give us a comment. We always appreciate it. We will see you again on the next Back in '99. Later.